Boom!
We off and running?
We are at the races, but we're not running.
This is the Mead, Meadland MMA podcast.
Good evening, friends.
I'm Kevin, that's Brandon, and we get together every week to talk about three of our favorite topics, and usually we add in some more, but starting this week...
No Ruben this week.
No
show stealer.
I got to say this, man. There were some people that really enjoyed him being on the show last week.
I know. I knew it would happen, too. I knew it.
That's why you don't bring Ruben around the ladies with you.
That's right. Unless you want to spend the rest of the night alone.
One thing that I think misspeaks are the greatest thing of all time. And I've got to say that calling an a cappella band a mouth band.
And thinking it was your original idea.
It's just, good God, some of the stuff we do in setup before we actually hit the record button.
Yeah, but Ruben and I were doing that shit before it was popular. Like, stupid teenage shit. Thinking, hey, man, we can do like a 4-piece band, just you and I with our mouths.
I think a mouth band, actually, that's what kind of derailed certain presidencies and everything else.
It was a mouth band that fucked that shit up.
Oh, Christ. All right, let's get to the topics this week because we got a bunch on two of them. One of them's really, really loaded this week. Let's get to it. Mead, it's out. We've had some donors and potential donors talking to us. We've got basically the two batches available. We might have a scant bottle here and there of Long Ships and Holly King, but really the two featured batches we have right now are the Batch 1 and the Troublemaker. And that's kind of all we've got in the barrel right now.
Troublemaker's going fast. I don't know why. It's just really popular.
Is it because you're buying a bottle every time you stop by?
Is it because I've bought a 6-pack already? No. No.
By the way, people, and that's exactly what happens for some of you that are expecting like a gratis bottle or something. No. Me and Brandon, we're paying our own goddamn way through, so...
Yeah, I mean, there are some perks to the job, but one of them isn't a free bottle whenever you want it.
Yeah. So
a lot of work goes into this.
I think that's good for the Mead this week. We need to move because we've got metal.
God, I just want to kill someone with my hands.
Went down an interesting little cosmic bunny hole. And for some of you out there that are probably smarter than I am on the topic of doom metal, and that's probably 98% of you. Because I'm a relative newcomer, I thought, okay, I liked folk metal. That was kind of my focus for a very long time, and I didn't want to hear the weird, sludgy stoner metal.
Yeah,
metal
that was
stuff.
kind of like you're into the more aggressive stuff.
Paul Bear, actually, no, I was already into the fairly aggressive stuff.
Well, I mean, because there was a time, like the vocal stylings of Moonsar weren't really high on your list.
No. I would have to medicate before I was listening to that. But. But I mean that was years ago though, and I mean really the doom metal thing has only been a recent thing that I've kind of gotten into. Having said that, so we talked last week about Paul Bear, my first doom band that I really kind of got into.
Right.
Checking out their single for the it's in advance of their record coming out on the March 24th, I want to say, or something, 21st. But anyway, some of the comments. And there was one guy that commented, said, man, he said, Paul Bearer and Elder might be the two most underrated doom metal bands of all time, which got my attention because I thought, Elder? All right, yeah, okay, well, call me a naive moron, whatever you want to do. But so I had to get online and check that out. Thankfully, we live in an age where, just jump on YouTube.
Pretty fucking easy to do, yeah.
Jump on YouTube, bring it up, and there it was. Elder and their last record that came out in 2015 by the title of Lore, which I think is great because Elder Lore. But it starts really proggy, and here's the whole thing: if you're going to catch my attention, you better do it pretty quick. And if it sounds a lot like modern Opeth, I'm probably only in for about maybe 2 minutes, 3 minutes tops.
Yeah, there's got to be a little more there.
Thankfully, I got a phone call, distracted me away from it, so it got into the third track of the record. That's those guys made a big, quick bump right behind Pelican on my list of doom bands.
Yeah, you sent me the link to it, and I was really impressed by it as well.
They have a new record coming out this year at some time. They've been in the studio, apparently, already cut it, so obviously at some point, probably looking at late summer.
It's going to be a good year for doom metal.
It's going to be a fantastic year. That's it.
Got Paul Bearer coming out. Band that I mentioned to you a while back, the Flight of Sleipnir, just put out a new album.
Yeah, now tell us about that.
I've listened to the first 2 tracks on Bandcamp. The album's called Scotty. It almost looks like a Nordic themed doom metal from dudes from Denver, Colorado.
Wow.
Yeah. So we need to get on the horn with Brett and be like, hey man, let's know if these guys are ever doing anything.
Brett, how about you go ahead and get an in with these guys? We'll hang out and we'll jam, man.
That's right. We can party. We'll bring a bottle of mead down. It'll be a good day for everybody. And there was like I said, I've listened to the first 2 tracks off the album. I'm gonna grab it off of Bandcamp. It's only like $7.
Sure. No, and, I like Bandcamp the way that they go about it. It's like, here's the thing, we'd like to get some money for this. So, I mean, some bands can like set their price or whatever.
Yeah, and some of them it's like name your own price.
Sure.
If you want to buy the whole album for $1, you can. I think that's the minimum.
Right.
But still, getting a whole album for $1 from a band that does some great shit, that's pretty good.
The best find we've had on Bandcamp, and by the way, I don't think we've brought this up on a podcast before. I think.
Oh right, yeah.
Get those guys. That's a two-piece. Folk metal, predominantly with a little bit of. I mean, you'll hear other influences, but it's a folk metal band out of Michigan, and those guys put it out on Bandcamp, and it's something about involving crossing rivers or something like that, right?
Oh, Realms Forged.
Oh, that was actually the title. Yeah. Or is that the first track?
Oh, no, it's that Wield.
Yeah. Well, look, just go to Bandcamp. Look for IFING. You will not be disappointed.
Against this Wield.
Against the Wield, yeah. Against this Wield?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. But nonetheless, check that out. It's really, really good. It's on Bandcamp, and I think that might be one of the Name Your Price ones, right?
Or
is it $5?
Probably not now.
Probably
I'm pretty sure it's a
now,
set price, but it's a 3-track, even though it's well over half an hour. It's a 3-track.
38 minutes, yeah.
Yeah, well worth. If it's $5, well worth it. If not, go on fucking YouTube and listen to it for free.
So then we get beyond those. Now, Brandon, you had another band you were wanting to bring up this week.
Yeah, a band that has, I can't remember his name, but the ex-drummer of Opeth in it. It's kind of like a super group, a prog metal super group called Sion. And it's basically a mix of Tool, Opeth, and Dream Theater.
That's a pretty good mix.
Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, the drum lines and the bass lines are very Tool-y. The guitar work sounds like Opeth after Damnation and Deliverance. And the vocals sound like current Opeth to me.
Right.
But all blends together.
So would you call it prog metal then? See, that's where I kind of came off too.
It's a hard thing.
Because I kind of want to, and then I go, wait a minute, no. Now I think about it, not really.
Yeah, because they have some pretty aggressive stuff. But overall, I think prog metal, not a button them in on it, but that's the best way to describe it.
Yeah, but you won't be disappointed. I mean, it's great especially if you're standing around jamming with a bunch of friends at your house, and it's a great one to throw on in the background. It really is.
Totally.
What else do we have? Music wise. Oh wait. So to get back to talking about Elder, it was kind of interesting because you'd said it reminded you of a band that you'd seen before a long time ago, and that's another one that came up in the comments. Look, I hate YouTube comments. You can't find more hell and discontent anywhere on the internet than YouTube comments.
Church.
But I thought, okay, well, somebody on there had compared them to The Sword. And I thought, I've never heard of this band either, but you have.
Oh, yeah. Saw them right around the time they had the song Freya on Guitar Hero 3, 2000, I want to say it's 2006 or 7. But they were playing, it was a Bloody Holly Festival.
in Lubbock.
In Lubbock, Texas.
That's clever.
The city that rocks.
Although it's not terribly clever because today is February 3rd, and that's the day the plane crashed.
Oh, but today's the day the music
That's the day that Iowa killed Buddy Holly.
Hey, fuck that. A sadder thing happened today. Today's the day the 49ers got beat by the Ravens in the Super Bowl.
Buddy Holly. So, yeah, that's the...
Fuck Buddy Holly. It's all about my
But
Niners.
but you caught the sword show. Right?
Yeah. Another funny thing about that, Drowning Pool was supposed to headline that show. Band that put out, the Let the Bodies Hit the Floor song.
Oh, right, yeah.
They were supposed to headline that show, but a week before, the lead singer was found dead on the tour bus. So instead of canceling the show, they got Rob Zombie to open instead.
Oh,
which was actually, in my opinion, because I'm a huge White Zombie fan.
That's an upgrade, yeah.
Yeah, it was an upgrade. I still wanted to see Drowning Pool. It was kind of bummed out. The dude died.
Well, that's pretty metal, though, yeah.
Yeah. Getting Rob Zombie instead as like a tribute to him was like, that's still going to go. And that was the day I almost killed all my friends by nearly rolling my probe on the 19th Street exit off the loop. Tried to take it going about 60 miles an hour.
Oh.
Back when it was like the one where you come all the way around and then under, like you take it at about 20.
Yeah.
Never driven in Lubbock before, and my friend was like, that's our fucking exit. And me, I just like, okay, try to get it. Going way too fast. If I hadn't had such a low-profile car, I was driving a Ford Probe, we would all be dead.
You guys weren't like driving along singing like Bohemian Rhapsody and shit, were you?
No, I was busy like white-knuckled on my steering wheel trying not to kill everybody, and then I made my best effort to actually do that.
I had to make my Wayne's World reference, man.
Nothing more metal than that.
On the way to the gasworks, man. So those are a bunch of bands to check out this week. So for a lot of you saying, you guys don't really talk about a lot of metal stuff, that's kind of a short segment.
Now you can shut your mouth.
There we go. Okay, well, so let's get on to the next one, because this one might very well spawn violence.
That's right. This could end a friendship.
This might very well. This might just torch the whole goddamn thing.
Nope. Might be over. This might be the last
slay
fucking
each other.
podcast.
Brett will come in as the new conqueror and will run everything from this point, because you and I will both be dead.
That's right. As it should be.
And it's time to move to the MMA part of it, and we're talking about Conor fucking McGregor.
The notorious. Get it right. The notorious Conor McGregor.
So here's the thing. He announced this past week his career with the UFC is now on hold indefinitely.
I don't know if those were his exact words, because he did also go on to say, if it looks like the Floyd thing isn't going to happen by the end of the year, then it's back to work.
So Conor's going to pursue the Floyd Mayweather boxing match, by the way, for a solid 12 months. Well, more than that, because he's been trying to pursue it long before that. Floyd Mayweather, his greatest boxing asset is the fact that he can make sure he doesn't get hit, to make sure that he can throw a counterpunch when it's required, and he can make an opponent chase him for a very long time. And I'm not talking about in the ring.
True. The Pacquiao fight took some time.
5-6 years.
But a fight that didn't pay off in the end anyway. After all those years of waiting, you got a fight that was boring as fuck.
Pacquiao's an old man. That guy's fighting like...
Well, Pacquiao's trying to fight him, and Mayweather just made him chase the whole fight. Made him look like a fool.
Do you see anything different happen? If we were to ever see a Conor McGregor Floyd Mayweather fight, do you see it would be identical to the Pacquiao fight, I think.
Well, I don't know, man. If Conor would just land one left, just one, could change the way Floyd thinks about fighting altogether.
Well, let's also consider the gloves are very different.
True, but I still, and that also gives credence to Conor being able to last. Floyd Mayweather isn't going to knock him out. Who the fuck has he knocked out?
Well, he has.
I know he has, but I mean
the guy that he fought before Pacquiao, that was a knockout finish. I mean, he's knocked people out, but he tends to make you have to wear yourself out, and once you're worn out, it's a lot easier to go ahead and have solid contact, not stunning power to put somebody away.
True.
And that's what happens with boxing more often than not, anyway.
I wonder if Conor would come in that fight with the same stance he has in the octagon.
I don't know. But here's the problem is if you're a huge Conor fan, you want to see him fight, if you want to see him box Floyd Mayweather, good luck. I don't think it's going to happen necessarily, because the problem is Conor McGregor he wants the paycheck, because he knows that that's where the money is at. The more time that goes by, the less that Floyd Mayweather maybe commands. Now, he's not old necessarily by some of the talent we see in the UFC, but he's definitely old by boxing standards. He's like, 38, 39 years old, something like that?
And he's gone on record saying, look, this is the only fight I'm coming back for.
And he's going to make Conor chase him for 3-4 years.
Well,
I guarantee
but Dana White has actually kind of helped the case by making an offer as well.
Yeah, but Floyd shot that down.
Even though it was a shitty offer, the money is still
$25 million a piece.
A shitty offer in comparison to what both fighters want.
Well, Floyd wants $100 million, and with Conor to get what, like 10 or 20, and then the back end on the pay-per-view.
Yeah. Well, hell, Dana's already offered him 25.
Yeah, I mean, which is problematic because the UFC doesn't have that they don't have that depth of money. I mean, that'd be a one-off thing, granted, but it sets a very bad precedent because every fighter in the UFC now is trying to mimic what Conor McGregor's trying to do.
It's true, and none of them can do it.
Now, I will say this: the problem is that Conor is under contract by the UFC. Now, he makes the argument: look, there's all these people going out doing these different grappling tournaments, these different jiu-jitsu tournaments. They're able to do it because it's not under the umbrella of the UFC. He claims that he has the same right that they do. I don't know. But the problem I have, and it's the same problem that everybody that's not a Conor McGregor fan has, and again, I love to see the guy fight. I pull for him every fight. There's not been one time I've rooted against him. But the problem with Conor McGregor is the fact the guy has never defended a belt in the UFC.
Agreed. And that's the big paramount thing against him. Every belt he's won, he hadn't defended yet.
So if he's going to chase Floyd Mayweather for a year, another a year on top of what he's already been chasing him anyway, he's going to get to the point where you have to start, as a fan, start saying, look, can we get somebody that's actually going to fight, win the belt, defend the belt, and hold that division?
Well,
Conor
is striking while the fucking iron is hot right now.
No, I can't blame him for that.
Yeah.
But the problem is he has to know that he's holding up the lightweight division in the UFC.
Well, no, you just have a company that pulls interim titles out of their ass. Conor won the belt, and a month later we were having an interim title fight announced for it. It makes no sense whatsoever.
Yeah, well, but we'll see what happens. I honestly think that the UFC's wanting a chunk of that cheddar because they know that's a high dollar fight. They'll try to figure out some way to work it in with the promotions that Floyd Mayweather's got. Now Conor's got his own promotions now. They'll work it all out. Everybody's going to make some money.
Oh, absolutely. If this fight happens, everyone will be rich.
If they can make it happen. That's the whole thing. People keep assuming, because we live in an age where everybody assumes that deals get done. Boxing is kind of still a monolith.
Yeah.
You can't, if you try to get a deal done, good luck getting it done within a fight within the next 18 months.
Sure.
Which is really bullshit, I would say.
And, maybe McGregor fights Pacquiao. That'd still be a fight people would pay to see.
Man, not to the tune that they would pay Mayweather.
Well, no, yeah, absolutely not. But who knows? Maybe he goes and fights Pacquiao, beats Pacquiao, and now he's like, all right, now I want Mayweather. Let's do this.
I don't know. Let's move on while we're still in good graces with each other on the Conor McGregor thing. I think the
Conor, you do whatever the fuck you want, man.
I think he's an asshole. He needs to defend his belt.
You're the greatest that ever lived.
Here's something that we had discussed when we were standing around drinking beers the other night here at the Mead Hall, and that has to do with the light heavyweight belt. Now, you've got Daniel Cormier, who has had 2 title defenses, by the way, so that makes him a legit champ.
Knocked him around back to back.
Well, but the thing is
that had to hurt you to say that, didn't it?
Yeah, but he ran away from basically Rumble on the rematch. Now, he beat Rumble the first time, which I really didn't care for Rumble's approach to that fight. I think that Rumble will get the better of Cormier once he gets in a chance to get in the octagon. So he pulls out of a fight with an injury, as every fighter at AKA does.
It's weird. It never happened.
Every fighter at AKA with a championship implication on the line.
God, I bet their insurance premiums are through the roof, man.
I don't. Well, I don't, but the UFC's probably is because they're relying on these
Cain
bastards.
Velasquez alone, man, that's got to cost some coin.
I hope you got interest in Bitcoin. but yeah. So what we're looking at is, Cormier is going to be fighting Rumble. I threw out a scenario that you can't necessarily just say that'll never happen. The scenario is, so Rumble's supposed to fight Cormier. Cormier comes out with another injury. In which case, then I think the promotion either puts him on the shelf completely and removes him from the belt from him. I don't know. He's such a big bastard. You never know. But
well,
So there's that. Skin. Or the fact that they would say, whoa, hold on. He's still our champ. We'll just make these guys have to do an interim fight. Guess who comes off the shelf July 5th? And that is John Jones. The world has always wanted a John Jones-Rumble Johnson fight.
That's a fight I want more than Cormier and Rumble.
Yeah, absolutely. That should be the title fight, technically. Sure. But the problem is you got old pudgy, little fat donut-eating guy around.
And Cormier, an organization that loves interim belts. They have no problem setting that up.
And they love rematches. And probably what they're already looking ahead to down the road, the conspiracy theorist to me is thinking that the promotion tells Cormier, hey, have another injury, about
Take
March or April, and then you have Rumble, again, having to wait, and then they throw Rumble a deal, hey, well, Jones comes back on this date, let's set something big up, and then suddenly you've got, Jones, fighting against Rumble Johnson. For the winner gets Cormier, but the promotion, they're hoping for a Jones victory, so then that way they get a Jones-Cormier 2, in which case they want Cormier to win because Cormier is their talking head on Fox. I don't know. I don't want to sound like a WWE guy at all, but but the conspiracy theorist gets a little...
Fox wants to protect their stars, man.
All right, what do we got this weekend? We only got, another 4 or 5 minutes to go.
Oh, we got the Bermudez... Korean Zombie, Mr. Twister Man.
I'm assuming we call him Korean Zombie because his real name is a little hard to pronounce.
Chan Sung Jun.
Okay, so we call him the Korean Zombie. He's the only guy in all of the UFC that gets his nickname being thrown out there, other than Rumble.
Yeah, well, it's easier. Less there's more room if you just put Korean Zombie.
I'll let you handle this portion. I don't even have my card up in front of me.
So really the only fight that I'm super looking forward to is that main event between him and Bermudez.
Now, this would be basically who it is that's going to go and take on Mighty Mouse next, Demetrius Johnson.
Korean Zombie, he ain't really what you would call ranked right now. So I don't know how you might not be able to make that argument for him if he wins.
But you could for Bermudez.
If Bermudez wins and wins significantly, I don't see. Well, there's just no one else for Mighty Mouse to fight right now.
He's cleared out the division.
And I think after that last fight with that dude that won the Ultimate Fighter show.
Oh, he got tagged a bunch.
Yeah, there were some holes in his game, which was kind of weird.
Kind of un-Mighty Mouse-like.
Yeah. But I think there's more for Bermudez here to lose than Jung.
Yeah, no, you're right. Because
Twister in the third round, by the way.
It's just so. But Bermudez, though, here's a guy that really was pretty untouchable. His game is pretty stacked, top to bottom, whether it be stand up, whether it be ground. But he did suffer that one loss. Probably, I don't know. It's been about a year and a half ago, I think, maybe 1 year ago, year and a half. And it was a little shocking to me, and kind of really exposed him. But then again, though, if you were covering all your bases, though. All you got to do is make minor tweaks to your game. If you're purely a stand-up guy or purely a Gracie guy, you're going to have to make major adjustments.
Sure. You got to be multidimensional. Yeah. You have to be.
All right. Well, we're already what do you got?
Well, the co-main is Alexa Grasso fighting Felice Herrig.
Felice Herrig is you might want to follow her on Instagram because and not necessarily for her MMA skills. She's an attractive lady and knows how to work, or folks around her know how to operate a camera properly.
Yeah, she's very photogenic, that woman. And,
every bit of her.
Right. OSP's fighting on the card.
Okay.
Fighting Volkan Ozdemir.
Okay.
I'm picking Ozdemir just based on how awesome that fucking name sounds.
I never take Vulcans, so I'll go OSP.
Hey, they live long and prosper, motherfucker.
No, they don't.
They live long. What?
I just made a Leonard and Moy joke. I feel bad now.
Well, hey, he made it to 82, right?
That was a good run.
This guy actually is making his UFC debut.
Yeah, I got OSP. Boring fighter, very boring, but he might win 3 rounds. Who knows?
I'm going for the Swiss.
Okay.
And Angela Hill coming back up from Invicta after winning the belt down there. Sorry, am I boring you?
No, I'm sorry, because unless it's a fighter, if that's the highlight fighter that's coming into that one, that's
Really, the story behind it is more.
Well, what you got?
More interesting because remember she got cut from the UFC. She had a pretty shitty run her first time out.
Kind of like Jessamine Duke.
Yeah, only she was able to go down to Invicta
and start kicking ass,
tear ass
instead of like getting it kicked.
And she got an exemption from the testing pool to come back to the UFC to take this fight because she's
like Brock Lesnar.
Well, the thing was, the reason she got the exemption is because she's already in the Invicta testing pool, so that's basically carrying over. She hasn't been.
It's got controversy hanging all over it,
and I don't think so. She's been out of competition with UFC, but not in MMA.
No,
and Invicta is a. I mean, that's pretty high profile as far as women's
farm team for the UFC.
Yeah. So, and I'm sure their testing policies are fine.
I'll root for her, not knowing who the hell she's fighting. She could be fighting a dude for all I know.
And outside of that,
we don't care. Let's go to wrap up this particular episode. What the hell? We might as well pull the plug now.
Don't worry, guys. It gets better.
We got a 23-pack of Tall Boys.
Hashtag it gets better.
And a half a bottle of Fireball. So we'll get to that.
You can fuck yourself on that shit.
All right, that's it for this week, though. We do appreciate you joining us here. And thanks to all the folks out there supporting our music through our Mead and hashtag Mead for Metal. And I guess we'll check in with you again next week.
Enjoy the fights.